Ever wonder why crowds act so differently from individuals? From social media pile-ons to historical mob frenzies, something happens when people come together that could cloud their judgment. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into groupthink and the psychology of crowds, why they can lead us astray, and what this means for finding truth, especially in faith. We'll explore what groupthink is, how crowds shape our minds, real-world examples, and how to break free to think for ourselves. Let's get started. So what exactly is groupthink? It's a psychological phenomenon where people in a group prioritize agreement over critical thinking, often leading to bad decisions. The term comes from psychologist Irving Janis in 1972, who said it happens in tight-knit groups under pressure. Think of a team rushing to decide without questioning the plan. Symptoms include believing your group is unbeatable, silencing doubts, or ignoring outsiders' views. This isn't just about politics or work. It can happen in any group, even religious ones. For example, groupthink might lead a church to blindly follow a leader's interpretation, or make skeptics dismiss Christian claims like the resurrection without a fair look. As Christians, we're called to test all things, 1 Thessalonians 5:21, not just go with the group. Groupthink often starts in crowds, where something wild happens to our psychology. In 1895, Gustav Le Bon wrote The Crowd, arguing that crowds develop a collective mind. When you're in a crowd, you feel anonymous, losing personal responsibility. You're more suggestible, swayed by loud voices or emotions, and emotions spread fast like wildfire. Think of a concert where everyone's excitement feeds off each other, but this can go dark. Crowds can amplify skepticism, like dismissing miracles as impossible, or fuel uncritical faith, like following a preacher without questioning. Crowds don't just think differently, they can make us act against reason. This matters for faith, because the truth isn't found in a mob mentality, it's found in careful reasoning. So why do we fall into groupthink or crowd behavior? It comes down to a few key mechanisms. First, social pressure. Experiments by Solomon Asch in the 1950s show people will agree with a group's wrong answer just to fit in. Second, cognitive bias, like confirmation bias, make us seek information that matches the group's views, ignoring evidence, like skeptics rejecting historical evidence for Christ. Third, de-individuation. When you're anonymous in a crowd, you're less accountable, so you might act impulsively, like in a riot. These forces can trap us, whether we're in a church blindly following tradition, or an online mob attacking a viewpoint. Apologetics reminds us to question assumptions and seek evidence, no matter what the group says. Let's look at some examples. In 1692, the Salem witch trials saw a whole town gripped by hysteria, accusing innocent people of fear and group pressure. Fast forward to today, social media cancel culture can act like a digital mob, shutting down dissent without evidence. Even in religion, groupthink can lead to extremes. Think of cults demanding blind loyalty, or skeptics piling on Christian apologetics without reading their arguments. But it's not just negative. Groups can inspire faith, like early Christians standing firm despite persecution. The key is balance. Apologetics teaches us to defend our faith with reason, not just follow the crowd. 1 Peter 3:15 says, "Be ready to give a reason for your hope." That's the opposite of groupthink. This brings us to philosophy. Groupthink raises big questions about how we know what's true. If crowds can drown out reason, how do we find truth? Philosopher Soren Kierkegaard warned that the crowd is untruth, urging us to seek truth as individuals. This hits home for Christians. Faith isn't about following a mob, it's about a personal encounter with Christ, backed by evidence. Apologetics helps us to do that, using reason to defend faith, like the resurrection. When groups silence dissent or push unexamined beliefs, they risk error. Whether you're exploring faith or any big question, philosophy and apologetics push us to think for ourselves. Now, groups aren't always bad. They can inspire good, like communities fighting for justice, or churches sharing Christ's love. But the danger comes when the group shuts down questions. Some argue conformity builds unity, like shared values in a church. Fair point. But if we stop questioning, we risk missing the truth. Apologetics teaches us to test ideas against evidence, not just accept what the group says. Whether it's skeptics dismissing faith or believers following tradition blindly, groupthink can lead us astray if we don't stay vigilant. So how do we avoid groupthink? First, think critically, question assumptions and seek evidence, like studying apologetics to defend your faith. Second, reclaim your individuality. Don't let a crowd define you. Third, engage with diverse views, even ones that challenge you. As Christians, we're called to seek truth, not popularity. Whether you're in a church, online, or a crowd, test everything against reason and evidence. That's how we stay grounded in truth, not swayed by the mob and lies. Groupthink and crowd psychology show us how easily we can lose our way in a group. But by thinking critically and seeking truth, we can stand firm, whether defending our faith or navigating life. Have you seen groupthink in action? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more videos on truth, faith, and philosophy. Thanks for watching.